Other guys. So today I wanted to come and make this particular video. Um, I want to find solutions. On my channel, I really do my best to bring things to you guys in a different type of perspective. And I want to bring about a solution. You know what I'm saying? I don't like just talking about problems. I'm a very solution oriented person. And that's why I don't make videos all the time because I could talk about what everybody's talking about. Um, Sometimes it's just certain things preventing me. One of the things is I got a new microphone because I needed one. My other one was trash. And so I needed to get a new microphone. So that was a little bit of what I was waiting for. Like I said, there's so much going on right now that I could make videos on. But this one today, I want to bring this one um, because it's a problem and we need a solution. And I have made a couple of videos. Let me make sure I was recording. I did make a couple of videos recently about grown men sexualizing little boys, putting these thoughts and things into their heads, and but it's bigger than other men. It's really, in my opinion, a societal issue. Um, just looking at society, we're in a very, very sexualized society. We are in a very misogynistic society. We're in a society where women are not respected. Women are treated as objects. Women are completely sexualized, and it's a problem. It's a problem of violence. It's a problem of making misogyny a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a problem of rape in our culture. Hopefully you guys know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to, do anything that's going to get my video banned, but we have a problem. We have a problem of psychopathy. There's so many men who are just unfeeling. They feel like that's a funny way to say that, but many men grow up with the mindset that they're supposed to be stoic. They're supposed to be, oh, only women are emotional, and men are just purely logic. And there are actual, really true, full grown men out here who really feel like they have no emotions, not realizing that somebody who goes around with no emotions is literally a sociopath. Um, And that's bad. That's not good, you know? And, so we have a problem. I'm not going to keep going on. I want to get to what I wanted to talk about. So a few days ago, there was and y'all have to forgive me because I'm going between my phone and paper that I have things written down on because I want to stay on track. I don't want to ramble and go off on different things because I do have this topic and I have about 7 or 8 different points that I want to make. But um this is a comment that I want to read from a man. Doesn't matter the race of the man really because what he has to say is completely right and accurate. I don't want to take his whole comment cuz he actually made a very long comment, which isn't always the case with men. A lot of times men are just kind of short, direct, and to the point. But this man made this statement. He was a black man. He made this statement or this comment, and he touched on a few different things, but I want to get to the crux of what he said that really stood out to me. And I thanked him for his comment, and a lot of other women actually thanked him for his comment. Um, because it was right on point and it points exactly to what I want to talk about. So, uh, this. And honestly, I don't even remember what he was commenting on. I can't remember. It must have been a video or something because he said it here in what he was saying. But I'm going to get to the point that he was speaking that I really want to talk about. Um, it says here, I'm going to start right here. Men love their pops, their brothers, uncles, cousins, and even their friends that feel like brothers. Here's what I want to touch on though. He says, when guys are growing up, we're really not taught to be friends with girls. Most times, if a guy hangs around girls when he's a kid, everyone looks at him funny. Truth be known, most of us are only taught to relate to girls in a sexual manner. Gender roles are being defined, and parents' fear of their sons being gay blocks them from training them how to relate to girls on other levels. Now, I'm going to stop right there. He had a lot, he had more to say, but I want to stop right there because it's key. It's very, very key. And he hit the nail on the head. I've never heard another man say that. I mean, I know that. I'm sure a lot of other women know that, and probably a lot of other men know it as well. But it's so key in what I want to talk about because I have the idea, and you guys know here on this channel, I have brought out before that we have to get to our little boys in a different way. I mean, we got to get to our girls too, but we really got to get to our boys because our little boys are being damaged in such a horrible way. You know, I think it's a lot of, as I said before, society, just the way we are taught to raise boys. Now, here in America, you know, we have so many different cultures. Um, we as Black Americans, of course, coming here historically and those who are already here, everybody's culture has literally been raped and colonized by others. And we've been made to grow up and live in a culture, in a society that's not our own and that we don't have a lot of say over. A lot of other people that come here to America are they kind of keep their cultures intact. We Black Americans have had to carve out our own culture. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just leave that at that. But with him saying that, I can speak in the Black culture that yeah, little boys are really, really discouraged not to play with little girls. And it is just exactly what he said. It is because they're afraid he's going to turn gay. He's going to be gay. He gonna act gay. He gonna look gay, and other little boys are going to tease him and shun him. Um, that's that toxic masculinity that a lot of men say they don't see and recognize. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say I think maybe a lot of them really don't see it, know it, and realize it because it's just how they grew up. You know what I'm saying? They don't look at their quote unquote masculinity as being toxic because it is how we raised them. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have these little boys growing up in this society doing the things that their mothers and whoever else taught them to do. And then when they grow up, they hear, oh, you're toxic. Oh, you're a misogynist. Oh, you're um uh what is that really big word? You're a male chauvinist. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say that yeah, it is confusing to a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them may feel like, where everybody's against me and we don't know what to do. We don't know how to act. We don't know what to say to women, whatever. And if I'm gonna be honest, I can understand that because they are taught, like I said in other videos, to sexualize women, where, grown men are asking 9, 10-year-old little boys, oh, did you touch her butt yet? Did you kiss her yet? You got a little girlfriend yet? You know what I'm saying? And this is an age where these little boys are developing, and, most of the time they're not even looking at girls like that. Like they really aren't. But it's almost like they're made to start thinking that way. And so to please other men and grown men and whatever, to fall into the societal norm of what a guy or a man is supposed to be, you're supposed to, touch little girls and kiss little girls and want to be with little girls or whatever. And then they find out, the older that they get, women don't like that. We don't want you touching our butts. We don't want you trying to kiss us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a violation. So basically, everything that they were taught that they are supposed to do is wrong. And it's true. It is wrong because that isn't the way that you're supposed to behave and relate to girls and women. And so, because, as the guy said in his comment, boys are taught, go out there and play with them other little boys. You leave these little girls in here along with they dolls and they toys, and they playing with the dishes and all that. You go outside, you go throw that football with them other boys. And if he doesn't like that, or if he isn't drawn to doing that, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you'll hear full grown women call, oh, that little boy gonna be sweet. That little boy a sissy. That little boy whatever. And now he's stigmatized. You know what I'm saying? Now he's stigmatized that he liked to play with the little girls. Automatically, he's gay. It's not true. It's really not true. It's not the case all the time. I think we need to get to a point to where we change our mindsets so that we can teach our little boys that it is okay to play with a little girl. You're not gonna turn gay because you picked up your sister's doll. You know what I'm saying? Um, we want that softer side of men. We want the emotions of men. We want men to be able to be okay with cleaning the house and cleaning up their room and, making their bed and, doing chores around the house. But we teach them that that's what girls do. We buy little girls little fake vacuums, and we buy little girls little, like I said, little tea sets and things like that, because that's what girls do. That's feminine stuff that girls is, and it's really not. It's the way that we as adults and society are conditioning these children. And from what I see, we're not doing a good job. We have not been doing a good job because, as I say, if you teach the little boy to go outside and play with his friends all day long, and he's throwing footballs and he's playing with trucks and all of this kind of stuff all day long, and he's playing marbles or doing whatever that little boys do. Now it's video games all day, but we're teaching them that this is boy stuff and this is girl stuff, and you don't mess with the girl stuff. You don't play. But then you teach them, have you kissed a girl? Have you touched a girl? Have you. We aren't teaching our little boys to cook and clean up after themselves because that's what girls do. And then, like I say, they grow up, they get into relationships, they get married per se, you know, and the only thing that they can really find to want from their woman or whatever is, you're gonna get her pregnant, she gonna take care of the baby, she gonna take care of the house, she gonna take care of you. You gonna get up, you gonna go to work, you gonna hang with your friends, maybe drink with your friends. Um, come home, your wife gonna take care of you. You give the wife the money or whatever, you take care of the bills and all of this stuff. And that's life. That's what men do and that's what women do. And people are tired of that. People are bored of that. People are frustrated by that. They're tired of those particular roles. A lot of men today don't want to get up and go out and pay the bills and do this and and be a man or whatever. We're seeing like a rebellion against that nowadays. Men don't even want to pay, like there's an anger that men have. They don't even want to take women out on a date because why should I treat you like a princess? Why should I do this for you? And what makes you special? Why you got to spend my money? And then because men are saying that, women are like, okay, well, screw y'all, f y'all. I got my own money. I could buy my own house and my own car and my own, I could get my own college degree so that I can have enough money to take care of myself and my children if I have to. You know what I'm saying? And then you, it's like a constant battle that we have right now. It's a constant battle. It's a competition right now. And again, I think it is truly because of the way we are raising and have been raising boys and girls. I really do. There has to be a solution. We have to raise and teach our boys differently. I think when you just sexualize little girls and teach little boys that girls can't be your friend. A girl can't be your friend. And then that puts in the little boy's mind, well, then hell, they must just be for taking care of me and for having sex. That's what women are for. You know what I'm saying? It's almost one of those things like, well, what else do you expect when we've raised them like this? Now, I can speak personally. I taught my son, of course, to respect women, to be a gentleman, to not to hit women and things like that. I put those things in him like a lot of mothers did. But yeah, playing with little girls and things like that. Yeah, I don't remember not allowing it, but I don't remember encouraging it, if that makes any sense. Um I have to say, in a way, though, my son really wasn't around a lot of little girls, probably except for school, because he didn't have any nieces and nephews or anything like that. None of my brothers have gotten married or have children. Now there's cousins and things like that, but even with that, I remember my son kind of hanging more around the guy cousins. Now he did have one girl cousin. Him and her were close because their birthdays are like a few days apart, and they were close or whatever. But now some of the other things I will admit I did do. I did teach him to wash dishes. I taught him to make his bed. So I taught him to do those chores. Um, so yeah, I mean, I did do that, and I'm not trying to center myself or anything like that. I know a lot of women probably did that, but I have to admit, there are things that I see in my son as a full grown man that, of course, I didn't teach him. There are some things that I'm seeing, in his behavior and the way that he's handling his little family. He has a girlfriend and two children. Um, there's some things that I see that I don't like. I see some toxic masculinity up in there, and the babies, the grandbabies are very, very young right now. They're very young. And although I would love for him to stay in their lives and be productive in their lives, I'm also seeing that he's trying to lead them in a way that I don't necessarily agree with. And of course, like I say, he's an adult, so I can't reparent him. But um I also don't want him teaching his these little boys toxic masculinity either, because he thinks that that's what a man was, what I'm saying, or is. And so I think we got to start somewhere, what I'm saying. I'm gonna go through a few of these that I wrote down. I think I probably already hit a few of them, but we got to train our little boys and teach our little boys that girls are people. The girls are not sex objects. Girls are not there for you to touch on and kiss on and, you know, get your little thing hard because you see she got a fat butt. Like, girls are people, and girls deserve the same respect that your guy friends do. Just because she's a girl and your friend's a boy, would you go up and touch your boyfriend's behind? No, you wouldn't do that. Why would you do that to a girl? You know what I'm saying? And then they get upset because of the Me Too movement, or they get upset because they lost their job for doing something sexual to a girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's a total disrespect. It's a total disrespect. And like I said, there's so many men who are walking around confused. Oh, well, I ain't supposed to do that. No, you're not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's been ingrained. I know it's nothing but sex been ingrained. And it's a hard addiction. It is a really hard addiction and a really hard mindset to break out of. But if we're going to come back to a civilized society in some kind of a way, we are going to have to redo the parenting that we have done for so long with our little boys. They're going to have to start seeing girls as equals some kind of way. And it's gonna have to be in our parenting and our grandparenting and our auntieing and our uncling and whatever else. We're gonna have to show them that girls are people. Um, yeah, we're gonna have to make this stuff equal in the things in the way that we treat little boys and little girls. I hit already most of these things already. Uh, yeah. So yeah. Well, one of the things that I said that boys can't relate as they do with other little boys. I just said that really. Um, but girls aren't funny. Girls are boring. Girls talk too much or whatever. You know, I've heard that from guys. I've heard that from full grown men. You know, and first of all, we know that those things are not true. But I think men grow up feeling that way and having that respect for other men way more so than women, because like I said, I mean, we have to look at the fact that, first of all, it's the way that we raise them, but we also have to look at the fact that that's what society tells you. When you see a woman in a position and a man in a position, usually if there are men on that job, they're going to relate to a male boss way more so than a female boss. They're going to be angry. They're going to be very disrespectful to her. They're going to sexualize her. Whereas a man, they're going to stand up and do right and want that promotion and come to him correctly. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's the way we have taught our little boys to not think of girls, their sisters, their cousins, or whoever else as equals. That is just the case. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's another problem where we have so many men who don't want to do things with their wives. They don't want to talk to their wives. I wasn't going to bring up or even talk about that whole Corey Holcomb thing. I did see that. I wasn't going to get into that because of his ignorance, and everybody else is already talking about it. So what else do I need to say? But Corey Holcomb's attitude and mindset is exactly it is indicative of what we have going on in society with men. He said, I don't want to talk to her. He said something about if I do something, then she gonna think that I want to talk to her, or that I have to talk to her. That's one of the things that have always baffled me, how men can say that they want to be in relationships with women who don't talk. and who don't want to talk to or don't they don't want to talk to the women. They don't want to have conversations with with a woman. When a woman starts talking, they start rolling their eyes. Oh, you nagging. Oh, you this. Oh, you. And as I say, it goes to the disrespect of women, the disregard of women's feelings, the disregard of, yeah, not wanting to talk to a woman about certain things because, oh, you just gonna nag, oh, you just gonna, I don't want to hear what you gotta say. And it's just like, but it would help our relationship. I need to tell, if I'm a housewife, I need to tell you what's going on in the house, what's happening with the children, if something broke or whatever. Yeah, it's you don't want to hear it, and yeah, it sounds like a problem or whatever, but it needs to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? Now, if your male friend came to you and told you the same thing, or if your male friend came to tell you, oh, yeah, well, your wife called me up to come fix y'all sink because it's been broke for a month. You're going to be like, well, wonder why she ain't tell me. Well, she probably did tell you. Maybe you was on the game. Maybe you were talking to your friends. Maybe you were ignoring her. Maybe you didn't want to hear it. And so she called somebody else. And then now you hear it secondhand. First thing in your mind is, oh, you F my wife. That's exactly what you're going to think. That's exactly what you're going to think. But she already told you. Or if you call a plumber, or if you call, I don't know, the doctor or what, I'm not going to say the doctor because that's common. But if you call the, you know, uh, somebody to fix the front door or whatever, you're going to be thinking something crazy. But at the end of the day, it's because you wouldn't listen. Because you feel like every time your wife opens her mouth, she's nagging about something. I have a friend who, and I've talked to y'all about this before on this channel. It's a young man who I told you guys, his mother and I were friends, and at the age of 14, he got in trouble. Of course, he didn't have to go to actual prison for it till he was what, 17, 18 years old, something like that. Spent 30 years there. He's out now. And he and I have talked back and forth or whatever. And it amazed me how this young man been gone so long and so many years, and I see in him the exact same thing that I see in all the other men out here in the world. It's mind-boggling. But then I said to myself, well, I guess he has only been around other men. So, I mean, it's probably normal that he acts just like them. So, you know, I wanted to talk to him, not necessarily to dredge up his experience and talk about, you know, all those years and all of that kind of stuff. But he and I did have a bit of a friendship because of his mom, of course, nothing any other kind of way, although he did have a crush on me. But I wanted to talk to him about, you know, what what happened, what you've been going through, what did you do on the inside, and how were things for you, not like I said to make him dredge it up, but just certain questions I had. That's a long time, you know and so I remember one of the last times I talked to him, because I haven't talked to him in a little bit at this point. And I was asking him about that, and this guy just, he's almost a 50-something-year-old man, so it's not like, this ain't no pedophile, nothing going on. Then he was gone for 30 years, so he's a full-grown man. So that's how he was coming at me, like a man comes at a woman. And so, but I wasn't trying to go there with him like that. I wanted to talk about his life, his experience. What is he going to do now? What are his next steps and things like that. And so, I'm trying to take the conversation back to a civilized conversation. And something came up. I think I asked him something about, why he didn't want to talk to me or, really tell me what I'm asking him. Like, why you keep, because he would talk around stuff and then go back to something sexual. Or he would tell me a little bit of it, but not all of it. And it's like he was purposely not telling me or whatever. And I don't understand that. And so when I questioned him on it, his thing was, well, it's just like you just be nagging me all the time about stuff. And I said, nagging you? Like, cause I'm trying to figure out, like, is that the word you want to use? And I said, nagging you? I said, I wasn't nagging you. I'd just be asking about your experience because in my mind, I'm thinking, dude need to write a book. In my mind, I'm looking at how he needs to try to fight the fact that he actually, if he ever got in trouble again, is going to have to go back and do 30 something more years. Because, like I told y'all, they gave him 65. So, if anything ever happens with him, if he gets into any kind of trouble, he's going to have to go back and do that time. And so, my mind is like, you need to find a lawyer or find some type of something to fight against that happening. Uh, and all the years that they took and stole from you. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm thinking how he could do public speaking and how he can, like I said, write a book, tell his story in all different kinds of ways. Those are the things that I want to talk about, but he keeps wanting to make things sexual and it's just like I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to go there with you like that. You know what I'm saying? He's a handsome, very handsome man, very. But that's not gonna be the case just because of a lot of different circumstances. It's not gonna be the case. So I don't want to keep going there like that. And I'm gonna be honest, it does feel a little disrespectful because like I've been a friend to your mom. I was a friend to your family. I was a friend to you. You know what I'm saying? I wrote him for many, many years. I wrote him, even went to see him before, with his mom and without his mom. And, I get he finds me attractive. I get the whole thing like that. But my thing is like, dude, the way you coming at me, okay, I appreciate, I guess it's flattering, but in a lot of ways it's very insulting because I'm coming at you up here and you keep trying to get me down there. And I don't want to do that like that. I feel, and this is how a lot of men continue to make women feel. It's like you're making me feel very disregarded. Like you're making me feel like, I got a whole mind and brain here. I do a lot. I've done a lot in my life. And all you can think about is what's going on between my legs. And it's like, I don't know if men understand how degrading that is. Like they want women to be, I guess, happy or turned on. Like, I don't know, but I got a brain up here. Like, can we talk? Can we conversate? Like, there's so much that we could talk about. But that goes back again to the beginning of the video where I said men and women need to find another way to relate. I think we women got it down packed pretty well. But some kind of way, we are going to have to start with our very little bitty boys, our very little 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old toddlers, teaching them to respect women and what women say. And, I mean, because we know in society, a man can say something and a woman can say the exact same thing. The woman is going to get told to shut up. The woman's going to get ridiculed. The woman is going to get dismissed. The woman is going to um, literally, yeah, get dismissed Whereas what the man says is gospel. Oh man, you right. I was just thinking about such and such, such and such. You right. And a woman has been saying that forever. I see that here on YouTube all the time. There are so many topics that I have covered here on my channel that I say the exact same thing, but a man will come along and say that, and he got 15 million followers, and it's just like, this is crazy. And I get it. It's probably some other stuff. It's probably some other stuff. But you all know and understand the example that I'm making. Men just don't respect when I will get men, y'all see men in my comments. Some of them I go ahead and delete, but there are men that will come to my whole comment section after reading the title, and I know that's all they're doing. They're reading the title, they get mad, they get triggered, and they'll say stuff like, nobody's listening to you, or what are you talking about, or you make no sense, and it's just like, sir, I said a whole bunch of stuff. What don't make no sense? None of it, or just what? Like, what makes no sense? Or is it just the fact that you just don't want a woman talking about male issues? I really don't give a damn about that, because I'm going to talk about it. As long as there are women in this world, I'm going to talk about it, because women need to know. Women need to have that understanding. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be here, if you don't want to listen, first of all, this channel is for women anyway. Men are welcome, but it's just, we're in a society of very, very, very immature men. We are in a society where there are so many men who are still behaving at the level of 15 to, I'm going to say, 18, 19-year olds. There really are. And these men are in their 30s and 40s and 50s. And their mentality, their emotional maturity is 15, between, I'm going to say seriously, between 15 and 19 years old. I'm going to close with this right here. I think I've hit everything that I wanted to hit. Yeah, men don't hear women because women are not supposed to be intelligent. Men are supposed to be intelligent. Yeah, that's more the disrespect. That goes with everything that I said, you know. So they see women as less. You know what I'm saying? If you're just a sex slave, literally, you're here for sex and for cleaning up, then yeah, you don't really have a whole lot of value. That's the misogynistic society that we're in, you know? And like I said, the only thing that's going to change that is we got to start with our little boys. We got to change, we got to train them different. Some of these men are literally lost causes at this point. Some of them are changing. I see the change. You know what I'm saying? Other women admit that they are beginning to see the change. A lot of women are beginning to see the quote unquote good men that they keep yelling about, that's everywhere. We're starting to now see them begin to speak up more. And I appreciate that. I really do. And I acknowledge that, but we got a long, long, long way to go. Some of these men are only changing or even pretending to change because they want to be around women. You know what I'm saying? And still don't realize that, but you're toxic and you're dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You're toxic and you're dangerous. Not only to be around women, but to be around children too. You're dangerous. And they don't see it. They only get offended by that, you know? There was a guy, I'm gonna hit this point. So I think right now, for the first time in history, we have a viable female woman running for presidency, black woman, that has an absolute chance of winning. Now, of course, we had Shirley Chisholm back in the 70s, I think. Um, I admonish her and love the fact that she even ran, but it just wasn't time. Uh, right now we got Kamala Harris, and it is absolutely time. And I absolutely believe she's going to do it. She's going to take it, and not, for no, for so many reasons, so many reasons. But the fact that Trump just can't keep his foot out of his mouth, literally. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. But the fact that we have so many men and the fact that we have so many people right now that this race is literally still very, very close is astonishing to me when, as I said, we literally got this man up here who can't stop putting his foot in his mouth. Like the fact that anybody is following him in a serious manner, like my son, is beyond me. And that's more of what I was talking about when I was bringing up my son. Like he's doing some things that is really beyond me at this point, and it feels like a very misogynistic mindset has grappled him, and it's sad because it just kind of shows where society is. You know what I'm saying? He's very much changed, of course, from how I raised him and what I taught him and everything. Hopefully that good is still somewhere in there because I'm getting a little concerned for the boys. I'm going to be honest about that. I really am. And I want them to, have a good influence in their life. But anyway, um, so yeah, that was my last point. Right now we have a whole society where men, mainly a lot of men, there's a lot of women too, for whatever reason, that doesn't want to vote for, in my opinion, the best candidate, Kamala Harris. And that's not because she's a woman. That's not because she's a black woman. It's because of her policies. It's because of what I hear coming out of her mouth. It's because of the track record that I hear. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Trump rallies. I'm not gonna lie, I listen to them because I don't want to be one-sided. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear what's coming out of his mouth. And I hear what's coming out of his mouth, and it's not for me. I'm just gonna put it like that. It's not for me. It's not for my daughter's future. It's not for what I feel like is the future of my grandsons. You know, I don't think it's good for a lot of Americans. You know what I'm saying? He just insulted Puerto Rico. He stays, insulting black people or whatever. We already know the policies. We already know he wants to give police officers immunity and things like that. So, and we have the past of what he has done before, and we hear the rhetoric and everything. And I believe that a lot of the people are sticking with him not only because of racism, but because of the misogyny that they hear coming out of his mouth. And I don't think a lot of people really realize how that's going to backfire. I don't think, especially our black men, I don't think the ones who are still in his corner are really looking at the real true ramifications of all that is going to ensue if this man is put back into power. I really, I don't, I don't think we can even imagine. I think we're going to go to a level in this country that we have never been, and that's frightening for everybody. And I think people are just letting their feelings get in the way of what they actually see and hear this man saying. I think they're willfully being ignorant. I think they're willfully being very uh just disingenuous on purpose. Like anybody, and I didn't try to make this, political rant. I'm done, seriously, but I think anybody that can sit and listen, if they objectively listen to both of these candidates, because like I say, I listen to both of them. I've listened to more than, I probably listened to 10 or more of Trump's speeches. I mean, I'm listening. I really am listening. And one of the reasons that I'm saying that I'm listening is because, like I say, my son is following it, and it's just like I'm literally trying to figure out what and how, what and how, you know. And I think, like I said, if it's not the racism that a lot of them are following him for, and this whole MAGA crap. that they think is going to happen that's literally going to blow up in their faces. But I think the rest of it is misogyny. I really do. So you guys, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. You guys leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until the next video. See you next time.